Hi everybody and welcome to the 4th annual Sweet Pea Papers Crafty Christmas in July. This is for 2024, this year, and it's going to run from July 1st to July 31st. We've got right around 25 collaborators. We've had a couple of emergencies come up and 1 or 2 people are out, but then we've got 1 more in, and then there's me, and so we're going to have more than 100 videos for this month. There's going to be a drawing on August 1st at Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. Post your pictures at Sweet Pea Papers and at Junk Journal Tutorials and more Facebook groups to enter the drawing. Now, how exactly do you do that? Well, I'm going to tell you. To enter the drawing, you post your pictures of your Christmas projects using the hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 24 in the Sweet Pea Papers or the Junk Journal Tutorials and more Facebook group. Now, each post equals an entry. Only the posts in Sweet Pea Papers or in Junk Journal Tutorials and more count towards the drawing. However, our collaborators, that I need to mention again, some of them have Facebook groups as well. So be sure to post your pictures there. They'll love it. And it'll be fun to share your Christmas fun all over the place. And think of all the people that will get to see your wonderful creations. Now, what I forgot to mention is that the 25 collaborators, all their links are going to be below the videos, all their YouTube links, so that you can go see all of their videos. So just click on the word more, and then all of the information will expand out for you, and you'll have all of those YouTube links. And we also have, believe it or not, I've added another one. And this is it. This is finally it. To our generous designers list. Our generous designers are the people who donated Christmas kits for the collaborators to use to make their Christmas projects. Line Dot Arrow, Cara Brandon Creations, Nonstop Paper Crafts, Crafty Dragon Creations, Natty and Moon, Studio 28E Journal Creations, The Trucking Scribe, Beauty and Books Co., and the 2 new ones are Paperomia, or Paperomia, probably, and Raindrop Lila. Raindrop Lila is the newest one. Now, the kits that I'm using, just so you know, is Cozy Christmas, and that's a collaboration between Line Dot Arrow and Nonstop Paper Crafts. And you can get half of the kit at Line Dot Arrow with the add-on, half of the kit at Nonstop Paper Crafts with an add-on, and then yeah, so that's that. Now, for all of the designers themselves, all of them, just click on the link that says click here to see the designers, and then a web page will open up with links to all of their Etsy shops. Okay? All right. So be sure to go visit them. They're going to have sales and specials and all kinds of stuff this month. And you want to show your support for them helping out our collaborators as well. So be sure to follow and, of course, purchase if you'd like. But be sure to follow. Okay, that's it for that. I'm getting quicker. Now, we're on video 15. I thought we had already done 15, but now we're on 15. And we're kind of getting down to it. Here's our journal. Now, this is what I did. I made 2 signatures with 8 pages each. There's 7 journal pages and then 1 cover. Now, the reason these are so thin is because they're not decorated, and we're not going to decorate them in this series. All we're going to do is put them in the book, and then we're going to put the ephemera in our expandable pocket. Okay? So that way the receiver of the book can decorate it themselves. Feel free to decorate yours. We just don't have time. And then, give it to the person decorated with just some extra ephemera in the pocket. Or your letter to the receiver, letter from the author, or whatever else you would like to put in that pocket. Now, this is where we're at. Oh, let me tell you how I made these. I printed out the covers, and I printed out 2 the same. I didn't print out the green one and the brown one. I just printed out the brown one. Meant to print out the green one, but I printed the brown one instead, so that's what we're going with. Okay? Now, wait a minute. I want them to be the same. So then I printed on both sides, and the insides of the signature covers are the same. And I used the least busy backing paper that we had that would go with the most pages. This one appears to be upside down, and I thought I checked them all. But it isn't. It was upside down. So double check your pages, at least to make sure they're not upside down. And what I did was I printed the papers on both sides, and the way I did that on my printer is, remember to print them with the borders so they're the right size, right? The white borders, and cut them all off. I've inked everything. As you can see, I've inked every single page and down the middle on both sides. And inking the border or down the center is up to you, but I think it looks better that way. Remember, even though it looks dark individually, your paper's not going to be seen this way unless, you know, they take it out. So then I tried to put is this whole thing, I just have the whole thing upside down, that's all. That was all. I just had the whole thing laying here upside down. Okay, now it should be right side up all the way through. Okay, all right. So the things I did, let's start over again. I printed out the pages on both sides with the fit to page turned off and the borderless turned off, so it came out in the true European size, which is the big border on the top and the bottom when you print it out in 8.5 by 11. This is a US book. And then the smaller borders on each side, the 1/8 of an inch border on each side. Okay. Now, then after I printed them on one side, I took the paper, I kept track of how it came out of the printer, and I put it right down and put it right back in the same way. Printed it on flip on the long side. And then, or no, I didn't even do that. Why would I do that? And then I just printed again. So I took them out, put them back in, and just printed on them again, and they came out the right way. My printer happens to print a double border on one end and a single border on the other. I know to put the double border in first, and it'll print out the right way. You're just going to have to do trial and error on yours and see what happens. You may have to flip yours on the long side to get them to flip over and print the right way. So that's trial and error on your part. I wish I could help you on that, but it took me forever to figure out how I had to do it on mine. I tried to do double-sided flip on the long side, and it just didn't want to work. I don't know why. I tried flip on the short side too, but I knew that wasn't going to work. So anyway, so I printed on both sides. I trimmed all the pages. Then I inked all the pages. Then I took the pages and I separated them into 2 groups of 7. So I printed out 14, which were all the writing pages. Okay. I didn't print out any more ephemera pages. I already have this much ephemera left. Okay. Plus I have this many pages of ephemera left, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. Can't really fold them in half. So they may just go in a gift tissue wrapped package that goes along with the book. Okay? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's legal to do that. So, you know what I mean? Because you can't just print out and distribute copies of someone's digital kit. So that's probably not legal. I think I'll just throw some of the leftover ephemera in there for them to use. This is probably not legal either, but I'm going to ask Natalie and Suzanne if it's okay. And if they say it's okay for just one book, then that's what I'll do. So you should just check with your designer and see if it's okay, whatever way you want to do it. And if they say yes, then it's okay. If not, you're going to have to put your letter from the author and maybe some ephemera that you've had, like Christmas cards and things like that. Okay, so back to this. I picked my center picture that I wanted, my center page, and then I just worked around it. I tried to put a writing page and a decorative page that you had to decorate. Okay, this is considered a writing page, or this is considered a writing page. This is a decorative page. This is a collage and a writing page. This is a writing page and a decorative page. Writing, decorative, and then writing as the first page, but I also liked this image, so I picked the first and last pages as well. All right, picked the first and last, picked the center, alternated the pages, printed the cover, printed the inside of the cover, inked everything. That's what I did. And that's how you're going to do it. By gosh. No, you just make your journal signatures the way you normally do. Some extra lace hanging around. So that's that. Now, our status so far, let me put my hand underneath so everything doesn't slide out, is this. You can see this first part right here is really full. This part is empty except for our expandable pocket. And then this part has one section in it. And that's because this is going to open out, so we can't put a double section in. We might be able to. I'm going to wait and see, but I don't want to push this back at an angle, right? I want this section to be flat so that the book is the way it's supposed to be. So now, in order to do the next part, this is the reason I haven't glued any of the sections in, because I didn't want to glue anything in until I had the eyelets for the segments done. So let's put these two, section 1 and section 3, to the side. We'll open this up. And we'll put section 5 and section 7 to the side. Then all the way down here is the spine of our book. Now our spine is 1.5 inches wide. So for 2 signatures, we're going to measure the center, and then we're going to, and that's going to be 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch is half of 1.5. Then we're going to measure 1/4 of an inch down. Then we're going to measure between the two, 1/2 inch, 5/8 in. 3/8 in, because 6/8 is 3/4 of an inch. So 3/8 in, 3/8 in. That's where we'll make our holes. 1/4 of an inch down, 3/8 in from the center, 3/8 out from the center, 1/4 of an inch down. So now we're going to get out our T-square, which is our ruler that looks like this. It's got a notch on the back side, and this is thick, and it hooks onto your cover like so. And it's got ruler marks on it. So we're going to go, we're going to use a regular ruler and our chalk pencil, our Tim Holtz ruler, and we're going to go 1.5. We're going to go 3/4 of an inch in. Wow, that really doesn't look like the center, does it? Because it isn't really 1.5. It's 1 3/8. So let's use our zeroing part of our ruler. And we'll measure the center from there. Quarters, quarters. Well, that is. Anyway, okay, so somehow I was measuring it wrong. So there's our center. And I drew that a little dark. This just so happens that the paper's at the center. This is our center. Then we're going to go three-eighths over and draw a little line. 1, 2, 3/8 over and draw a little line. Take your T-square and just make that little line just a little bit longer. And then also make your little line at the other end, because that means it's going to be straight. What the heck was that? Do it on this side, I forgot. Okay. It isn't quite right. Let me sharpen this pencil. This is my Prismacolor pencil sharpener. I use it to sharpen my soft core pencils that I draw with, my colored pencils, Prismacolor ones. I love them. And I also use it to sharpen this one. See how fast it sharpens it? Don't waste a lot of the wood and the chalk while you sharpen it. It was only a few dollars on Amazon. Okay, so now we've got this. And we want to draw this. We've got this, and we want to draw this. Let me draw the center. It's right on the paper. It's going to be that. That looks right. Okay, now we're going to go 1/4 of an inch down and make a dot. 1/4 of an inch down and make a dot, right? Let's turn it around. Go 1/4 of an inch, make a dot. And we'll go 1/4 of an inch and make another dot. So now we have 3/8 of an inch out, 3/8 of an inch out. It still doesn't. This one looks straight. And this one does not look equal. It looks like 3/8. Better. 1/4 of an inch down, make a dot. Now those dots are where we're going to make our holes, okay? And then we'll erase our real light chalk lines. And that hole is too big, or that dot is too big. I don't want to make the centers in the wrong spot. I want the centers of the holes to be in the same place. Okay, so we're going to put our T-square away and put our Tim Holtz ruler away. Now if you have 3 signatures, you can still fit 3 signatures in here. And that would be your 3/4 of an inch center, and then you would put a hole here as well at the 3/4 inch mark, then one at 3/8 and one at 3/8. Okay, just so you know, 1/4 of an inch down on the center line. Putting our T-square away and getting our crocodile out. I have some eyelets. I'm going to use the darkest ones in here, which are these right here. Ooh, there's silver. I've got silver. We didn't use silver, we used white. So I'm going to use the darkest ones to get the closest to black. So put it on the largest hole, and we're going to line it up on here, and we're going to punch out a hole. And punch out a hole. We're going to turn the whole thing around. And we're going to punch out our hole. Get your dot as close to the center as you can get it. Sorry about the shaking of the camera and the loud noise. That's what happens when you punch through 2 layers of paper and 2 layers of cardboard. Let me get that in just a little bit more. Let's see how well I did with the holes. Looks like I did pretty good. Now erase your marks. Your holes are there. You don't need any lines anymore. I'm having you do this before you put the eyelets in, so you don't have to try to erase your lines with your eyelets in there. Okay. You're going to flip it over. You're going to take 4 eyelets. And you're going to put in an eyelet in one of the holes, doesn't matter which one, and I usually put both in on one end. Push this forward so it's on the eyelet setting. Line the eyelet up with this little bump so that the hole in the middle is lined up with the bump, and then you just press it down. So I line this up with the bump, and then I press it down. I line this up with the bump, and I press it down. Oops, that one's not lined up. And I can still get it out. Okay. I knew it moved. This is so long. And mine buckled right here. It's fine when it's closed, but when it's open, it's got a bump. So I'm not real happy with that. There we go. Now you're going to turn your cover around. If you're like me, you're going to need to get another eyelet out. Part of it, I think, might have been that, oh no, that's in the puncher part. Okay, that goes in there. Let's get one more out. Now we'll have an odd number. Oh, actually, I think they put 15 in each one. So, I guess that's kind of helpful. When you're trying to do an even number and you mess one up. I was watching that Elvis movie on, is it Hulu or is it Prime? It's about the life of Elvis. It's really good. It's different, but it's good. Okay, let me see what I'm doing here. I can't see. Oh, goof it. Goofy thing. That one's not perfect, but it's down tight, I think. No, it's not. I'm having trouble because it's so long. It's flopping everywhere. Well, let's do that one and then we'll go back and get this one out. Yeah. Now let's flip this over. Try to push it back out. There we go. Now I will have an odd number, but for one that I'm doing 3, it'll work out fine. Plus, I'm always buying these silly things. I only use the memory keeper ones, which I should probably use some of the generic ones. I bought generic ones once and they didn't work. And so now I'm afraid to buy generic ones, because I'm afraid they're not going to work. Oh, for goodness sakes. There we go. Finally. Okay. Now we get out our elastic, which I'm using black. And we take our elastic and we run it through and then we tie it. So we're going to go from the inside to the outside. So we're going to start on the outside and go to the inside. Oh, I know, it's backwards, isn't it? Then you're going to bring it around. Go ahead and leave it on the outside. It's not going to hurt anything. Pull it fairly snug. Bring it around and cut it. Now you're going to be pulling it tight, so it's okay if you cut it quote unquote a little short. Now run it back through the hole, don't forget, and leave it on the outside. Run it back through the hole. And then tie it in the center, pulling it as tight as you can. This is always entertaining with my fingers. All right, got one done. I'm going to make this shorter. Now, if you make a mistake and it's not tight enough, just cut on one side of the knot to release it, cut on the other side of the knot so you don't have the knot hanging on the end, and just redo it and tie it tighter. You'll have enough room on your elastic. You can use whatever color elastic you want. I chose black to go with, oh, you know what? I should be able to do it with one. I'm not going to put the other cord in because I wanted to paper these first. Boy, that's kind of bad on this end right here. I'm really not happy with that at all. But see, when you fold it, it's fine. Anyway, I want to put the paper in. So if I only have one, because I made a mistake, if I only have one, I can still slide the paper under and glue it. Okay? Because I'm not going to leave the end pieces black. I'm going to cover them. And I'm probably going to cover them on the inside as well. All right. So now we're going to do this section here. Actually, this section's out, so why not glue this? Oh, because this one needs to be removable. So let's deal with that in a minute. We can go ahead and glue this one on to the spine, or the book, the cover. I'm going to have just enough glue to finish this book, I think. I hope you enjoyed June's Lapbook type cover with all the ephemera in it, with the line dot arrow collaboration project. I'm not sure anybody else is going to make a lapbook, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we can put this in here, and then we'll decide what we're going to do here after we put our book in and see how much, you know, space we need to fill up. We can always do another envelope like this, or we can do a pocket depending on how thick we need it to be, or we can make a little mini envelope stack just depending on what we need. You're going to hear maybe some dings. I've got my computer turned down, but my phone is in the living room and you can still hear it. So, okay, now we're going to glue this to section 1. And we're going to glue this big one to section 2. So let's glue this one to section 1. Let's not. That one's flat, so we can do it. Let's be smart and do our front covers first. Now, I think I'm glad I realized what I had done. I'm not sure. I know I want to use this ephemera ribbon with these leaves on the cover. And I know I want to use these two images. But these are regular size. So when I fold them in half, to get my paper trimmer off the floor, I don't think they're going to be wide enough. Okay, this is going to be our front cover. This is going to be our back cover. Okay, then this is our top. Since we glued that envelope on the inside, we definitely know which way is up. I'm writing top on the one you can't see off camera. Okay, so we've got the front. Let me cut these papers. Okay, and so this tie was not in the center, so don't cut it through the middle of the tie thinking that's the center. Okay, these two are the same size, so that means I cut through the center. I want the one that says Merry Christmas to be the cover, and the other half of the page that has the matching star to be the back cover. So this is the front cover. Well, by the time we put ribbon on there, we might be all right. Because I was thinking of putting the wide white ribbon with the green, with the greenery on it over here. And then do the same on the back, only put it on the inside, you know, over here. Or would it? Yeah, because I want to partially cover this bow up. Okay, so let's they're a little short. What would happen if I did an L shape with the ribbon? I don't think that would look good. I want to. They need to be taller top to bottom. They need that extra 1/4 inch. So I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to print them borderless and see how much of the image I lose. I'm going to lose some of this star, I know. But if I don't lose any of the Christmas, Merry Christmas, which I don't think I will, then we'll be okay. We'll just have to take it with this one. So I'm going to put you on hold and print it borderless and see what happens. So now we have these papers. I've cut them in half, but you'll notice they're too tall. That's because they're 8.5 inches tall, and our book is only 8 inches tall. Now that means we want to have 7 3/4 height to go 1/8 of an inch at the bottom and 8.5 inches on the top. 8 inches on the top, and have 1/8 of an inch left. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do, this is going to be the front. This is going to be the back. This is going to be this one. This is going to be this one. I know you can't see it, but then on the very back one, that's going to be the book cover. I'm going to do let's see. Yeah, I don't have enough paper set aside. I'm going to do this. So I want the book cover to be different, to be separate. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing on the inside. So let's cut this one at 5.5. Because they're true 11s. So 5.5 is going to be in the center. And then this will go here. Now remember, we're going to have to cut these for the widths as well. These two, the front and the back, are going to be fine, full width. You'll notice that we lost part of the star on the back. And we printed it out at no border because it brings the picture in to fill out the in and out to fill in for the borders. And so when you come in and go out, you lose the edge. I didn't think I was going to lose quite as much. Oh no, we lost our S. So that means we can't use this for our front and our back. All right, let me put you on. No, let's use this for the front. Because we can see Merry Christmas here. And we'll use this for the back, and that will continue this picture on. Then we will use something else. I'll print out another collage page, and we'll use 2 collage pages. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the front cover. This is going to be for the inside for here. Gosh darn it. I wish it hadn't gone in just enough to cut off the S. That's what I was afraid of. Okay. So let's take these and we're going to cut them 8. We're going to cut them at 7 3/4. So let's move this out of the way. Open up our paper trimmer to 12 inches. And let's do 7 3/4. That should be the right height. Now, wait a minute, let me look at this. I'm going to do them separately. Oh no. Yeah, I want to cut the bottom off on this one too, and the bottom off on this one. So I'm okay. 7 3/4. Now, this should be right. Yep. And we're going to move this over just a little bit because we're going to put the lace and things on this side. So we're going to ink everything. We've only got 15 minutes left, so we're going to put them on, and then we're going to come back in the next video and do the, we'll decorate the front after we put all the flat covers on, and inside and out, and then we will decorate the front, and you know, it would be kind of fun. I don't know if I could do it or not. would be to put a flip out on the front. Wouldn't that be fun? Then we could put the lace on the flip out. It could open to this, and on the inside of the flip out could be a writing page. None of these have backings. Let's do the back page, just so I can show you what we're going to do. Now on the back, we're going to center it and just have a little bit of a bigger border around the edges. And I think it would be fun to have some extra feature on the front. So if we put a flip out that was maybe something like this, or the one with the smaller pattern, let me look and see. I'll look and see while we're gone in between before we come back. So we're just going to glue this on here on the back. And it's going to be the same for everything but the front cover. So you can go ahead and do those on the front without without doing the inside. Don't do the inside, of course, because we're putting those pieces in. And we'll do that last. We will put the other half of the book cover in. Which is going to be the other half, like this. Okay? This is going to be our back cover. And we're just going to center it. Top and bottom, it's going to be fine. Left and right, it's just going to have a little bit bigger border. That's all. So that's going to be our back cover. So we're just going to leave at that with 10 minutes, less than an hour, so that's fine. And then when we come back, I'll have figured out what I want to do on the front cover. Even though, let's see. Yeah, we have to decorate and do the whole outside cover before we glue those big thick ones on the inside, because then it won't lay flat and we won't be able to do what we want. And we do have 2 magnets left, so that'll be fine. Instead of moving this over to the center and having a little bit of a border, then we will be able to move it over to one side and put the flip out, and in the center of the flip out we'll put the ribbon and lace, and I may have a piece of because we're going to use this ribbon with this down the center, so we need to make sure our flip out is bigger than that. And then yeah, then I'll figure out what we're going to do On the inside, I'll make sure that the paper is printed with the something that can be written on the inside, and then we'll be good to go with that. Okay? All right. I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay. Bye-bye.